What happens when faith and medicine disagree? This is the story of Annalise Michelle.
Welcome back to Crime and Cosmetics. My name is Hannah. We're a little girly, we're a little weird, so if you like that kind of content, you'll like it here. Hit that follow and let's get into today's case.
Annalise was raised praying with her hands folded, but by 23, those prayers turned into screams. By 23, Annalise was dead. People called it possession. Doctors called it epilepsy. So what really happened? Annalise grew up in a small town in Germany, a place where Catholicism wasn't just a belief, it was a way of living. She was a good student. She was quiet, she was polite. When she was 16, Annalise had her very first seizure. She collapsed at school, her body locked, and afterwards she felt like she was trapped in her own mind, like something had taken her voice. Doctors would diagnose her with temporal lobe epilepsy and prescribed anti-seizure medication. And for a while, this worked. But the darkness crept back in. By her early 20s, she began hearing voices, ones that told her that she was damned, unworthy, even possessed. She saw what she described as demonic faces when she tried to pray. She couldn't eat food because food tasted like rot, and she could no longer step into a church without feeling burned from the inside out. Her family then turned to priests, then psychiatrists, then to both, and each side would say something different. Science said illness, faith said invasion. After years of medication and psychiatric care failed, her parents pleaded with the local bishop. Eventually, permission was granted for an exorcism. When I looked this up, this is kind of the last resort in order to do this because it's very dangerous. Like these things are very real. You have to go about it delicately and choose the highest authority to basically execute this. So 2 priests were chosen to do this exorcism. For the next 10 months, they would perform 67 exorcism sessions, each lasting hours, and each one recorded. These tapes are still out there. Her growling, screaming voices shifting between both male and female tones. Witnesses said that she spoke languages that she'd never even learned, and during these sessions she refused to eat, believing her suffering was meant to save others' souls. So the priest would claim that she was possessed by multiple entities: Lucifer, Judas, Cain, even Hitler. Whether you believe it or not, what's undeniable is that her body was giving out. On July 1st, 1976, Annalise died at home. She weighed 68 pounds, and her knees were actually broken from constant kneeling during prayer. Parents and both priests were charged with negligent homicide. So the defense played these tapes in court and the prosecution called it medical negligence, and the church, on the other hand, stayed mostly silent. In the end, all 4 were found guilty, but their prison sentences were suspended. The judge called this a tragedy between delusion and devotion.
And that is all I have for today's case, guys. Let me know what you thought about this one in the comments, as well as leave your suggestions below, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!